Welcome back to Dominant Mets Nation, and here we are still, folks. We're on the Yamamoto watch. What is going on with Yamamoto? Where do our New York Mets stand in pursuit of the Japanese sensation? Are we in a better spot this week than we were last week? And where are we going to go next week? Will Yamamoto choose us as his destination? Well, we're going to dive into that, and we're going to dive into something that I think will significantly impact the Yamamoto chase as it relates to our New York Mets. But first, as always, so you don't miss our videos and so you can support our channel, please like, please subscribe. Cannot thank you enough. I really can't. Okay, so let's get into the first fact. And most folks have been saying, and which I wholeheartedly agree with this point, we have not done anything thus far to signal to Yamamoto that we are serious about winning in 2024. That has been apparent. If you look at all the other front-running teams interested in Yamamoto, the Yankees in their pursuit and acquisition of Juan Soto, the Dodgers in their acquisition of Shohei Ohtani, they have clearly signaled that they are serious about winning in 2024. So how does that affect Yamamoto, who seriously wants to go to a big city, and it seems like he wants to go to a contender? The Mets, their signings, who the hell are they? I'm not impressed with them, and I don't think Yamamoto is, especially since we are so behind the eight ball with this pursuit. How the heck are we attracting Yamamoto with doing these flurry of no-name crappy moves? Okay, so I'm going to get into the first topic that I think is significantly helping us out, and we're going to get into that right now. Now, folks, we're going to talk about the Mets in their possible reunion with Justin Turner. Now, whether you like Justin Turner and you think it's a good fit for the Mets at this point, I think is not the biggest point. I think it's really the message that it sends to Yamamoto. Right now, the Mets have done nothing to say that we are competing for 2024 and beyond. Nothing. But let's look at this report and see what Justin Turner brings to the table, both on and off the field. And we're going to talk about how it affects Yamamoto. But looking at this article, so it basically goes to this saying, while Turner isn't much of the defensive player anymore at this point in his career, he could play some third base and basically fill the position Ronnie Mauricio has left. He'd be more than serve as just a DH, where he largely excelled last year. So last year, he played as a DH. We'd probably have him a little at third base. The 39-year-old last year hit 276 across 558 at-bat, clocking 23 home runs and bringing in 96 RBIs. He was the centerpiece of a lineup for the Red Sox that didn't feature much power outside Rafael Devers. Despite not having much protection, he was one of the best run producers in the entire American League. If Turner were to sign in New York, it would represent a reunion for the two sides. After debuting with Baltimore Orioles in 2009, Turner got to New York in 2010. He played to 2013. We know that his stint with the Mets initially was extremely underwhelming. Okay, so Turner is a two-time All-Star and has hit 288 with a career 187 home run. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean for the Mets going forward? And I think it's really more than meets the eye. Turner is just so much more than, I would say, a backup or a fill-in third baseman. He represents two free agents that we will replace players who get injured. We are serious about winning this year. Turner, like I said, whether you like him or not, he was productive at the plate. He would have been our best fifth hitter by far. So we're going to go into his effect right now. Okay, so we're going to get into a bit of Justin Turner and his baseball savant numbers and what this really means for the New York Mets. Last year, obviously, Turner had a very, I would say, magnificent season based upon his age. He hit 23 home runs, batted 276, on base of about 350, slugging 455, OPS 800. And for a guy that age, 38 years old, that is freaking phenomenal. And if let's look at his advanced stats, his expected WOBA was 336. His expected batting average was 260, which was below his real batting average of 276. So he did probably have a little luck. His expected slugging in the 66th percentile was 444. His expected exit velocity is in the 55 percentile, which was 89.5 miles per hour. He didn't barrel the ball up that much. It was only in the 23rd percentile, which, I mean, he did pretty decent. So that actually is pretty impressive that he didn't even barrel the ball that much. His hard hit percentage was in the 37th percentile. Sweet spot percentage, he was in the 74th percentile. His chase percentage, 71st. His whip rate, 91st. His K rate, 77. So you got a guy right here who doesn't really hit the ball hard, but it looks from these numbers, he is extremely disciplined. He doesn't chase. He doesn't strike out that much. He knows the strike zone. Bottom line, he's a good veteran present. He doesn't walk as much as he should, but the type of numbers he has produced at such an old age, I can't say, you can't really expect that much more. But besides that, it's really what he signals to impending free agents. And at this point, I think David Stearns has done a very poor job at indicating and signaling to impending free agents that we are competing in 2024. And that's what free agents like Yamamoto are looking for. They are looking for a winning culture, a winning tradition. Okay, yes, you haven't been as historic as the Yankees and as winning as the Yankees, but what are you going to do today and moving forward? So I feel right now, David Stearns, he's in the mode. He's done all his little type of crappy moves. At this point, we have about 4 or 5 moves left to complete our 40-man roster, and this is when you have to put the pedal to the metal, and acquire players that actually move the damn needle. And whether you like Justin Turner or not, he's not a great player, and I could see him declining tremendously, but it just signals that at least the Mets are trying. At least they're not signing a fifth outfielder. At least they're not giving the job to Vientos and a Beatty and hoping that they produce 100 times better than last year. You're giving it to a known, solid commodity in Justin Turner. So, I mean, that's my take on that. And, the numbers for Justin Turner have been really impressive ever since he left the Mets. And I'm looking right now at his expecting batting average going back to 2015. And the guy's, he's at a good average. We always complain about batting average when we look at Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor. This guy, since 2015, expected batting average 287, 276, 298, 292, 286, 298 in 2020, 270, 267, and 260 in 2023. But bottom line, folks, this is a guy who is a veteran present. He's a guy that has always had solid production. He's a guy that the Dodgers have always notoriously wanted to re-sign and wanted him on their roster. Justin Turner won the World Series with them in 2020. So he's a winner. He's a guy who's been to the dance. So I don't see a lot of downside to this move, especially if you're not signing him to a 3-4 year contract. It would probably only be 1 year and probably an option. So there's really not too much risk, and I just really like the messaging as opposed to all the other moves. So that's my take, folks. If you can, drop a comment. I appreciate it. As always, just wanted to give you my quick update on this Justin Turner news. Thank you again. As always, like and subscribe. I will speak to you very, very, very soon.